Reports are swirling that Angela Simmons may be preparing to submit more evidence that could potentially send GloRilla back to prison. Yeah, I know, but sounds wild. The idea that Angela Simmons, a businesswoman and media personality, might be directly tied to GloRilla's legal troubles. But the rumor is spreading, and fans want to know what's going on, what's real, what's speculation, and what it could mean for Yo Gotti, GloRilla, and the entire CMG family moving forward. So let's dig into this step by step, because there's a lot to unpack. First, let's set the stage with GloRilla herself. GloRilla has been one of the most exciting young artists in hip-hop over the last few years. She broke onto the scene with her viral anthem FNF, Let's Go, a track that exploded on social media and positioned her as a voice of the streets with a unique sound and raw energy. That single didn't just put her on the map, it got her signed to Yo Gotti's CMG label, where she quickly rose to prominence alongside other heavy hitters like Moneybagg Yo, ESDG, and 42 Dugg. Everything seemed to be moving fast, and Glo was clearly on her way to building a major career. But like we've seen many times in hip-hop, success doesn't always come without obstacles. Alongside the fame came legal issues, and eventually, Glo found herself serving time. That setback halted her momentum and left fans waiting for her return. So when she was finally released, people expected a triumphant comeback, new music, and a refocus on her career. Instead, the headlines shifted to something else entirely: drama involving Yo Gotti's relationship with Angela Simmons. Now let's talk about Angela Simmons. For those who may not know, Angela has long been a familiar face in entertainment. As the daughter of Rev Run from the legendary Run DMC, Angela grew up in hip-hop culture. She's been on TV, starred in reality shows like Growing Up Hip Hop, and built her own fashion and beauty businesses. Beyond that, she's had a very public personal life, navigating relationships and motherhood under constant media attention. And for years, Yo Gotti has been open about his admiration for her. He rapped about her, shouted her out in interviews, and made it clear she was someone he dreamed of being with. Eventually, that dream became reality, and by late 2022, Angela Simmons and Yo Gotti were officially a couple. They've been inseparable ever since, posting each other on social media, traveling together, and living what looks like a hip-hop fairy tale. But while that might seem harmless to the outside world, it apparently didn't sit well with everyone, including GloRilla. Oh, when GloRilla came home, the very first thing she reportedly asked was whether Yo Gotti had met Angela Simmons behind her back. That question shocked a lot of people. On the surface, it seemed random. Why would that be her first concern after serving time? But on a deeper level, it suggested that while she was locked up, Glo was keeping a close eye on who was loyal to her, who was moving differently, and whether she had been cut out of conversations that mattered. The fact that Angela Simmons was at the center of her very first question shows just how significant the situation was to her. And now, this rumor that Angela may be planning to submit evidence against GloRilla adds an entirely new layer of tension to the story. It shifts it from just personal suspicion to potential legal consequences. So what exactly is being said? According to several gossip blogs, Angela Simmons may have access to documents, records, or personal information connected to GloRilla's past. The speculation is that Angela could be preparing to submit this information to authorities, which might reopen old legal cases or even spark new charges. Now, the details are very vague. Nobody's saying exactly what this evidence is supposed to be, and nothing official has been filed in court. But just the idea that Angela Simmons could play a role in legal moves against GloRilla is enough to stir up major controversy. Fans are asking, why would Angela even get involved? Is this really about protecting herself and Yo Gotti, or is it about putting GloRilla in a position where she can't disrupt their relationship or the peace inside CMG? The internet reaction has been wild. On one side, you've got people saying Angela Simmons has no business stepping into GloRilla's legal matters. They argue that as Yo Gotti's partner, she should focus on her relationship and her family, and not try to insert herself into drama between CMG artists. Some are even accusing her of being petty, suggesting she wants GloRilla out of the picture because of the tension that already existed when Glo came home and asked about her. On the other side, some fans believe Angela may simply be protecting herself. If she does have information that could be relevant to the law, they argue she has the right to bring it forward, especially if it ensures her safety or Yo Gotti's. And then there's the middle group, who believe this is all smoke and mirrors. Just another example of the rumor mill blowing up a situation for clicks and engagement. They point out that Angela Simmons has her own life and business to run, and then it seems far-fetched she would really risk her reputation to get an artist like GloRilla locked up again. But let's think about the bigger picture here. What would this mean for CMG as a label? Yo Gotti has worked for years to build Collective Music Group into one of the most powerful labels in hip-hop. With names like Moneybagg Yo, Black Youngsta, 42 Dugg, and ESDG, CMG has consistently stayed in the spotlight. GloRilla was a key part of their growth, especially because she brought a fresh female perspective that balanced out the male-heavy roster. If Angela Simmons and GloRilla are truly at odds, and if Angela is actively trying to push legal action against her that could create cracks within the label family. Artists thrive on trust and loyalty, and if Glo feels betrayed by both her label head and his partner, that might push her to distance herself or even look for a way out of her contract. On the flip side, if Gotti stands by Angela and allows her to move against Glo, it can cause division not only between Glo and Gotti, but between Glo and the rest of CMG. Drama like this can destabilize a label's energy, and history has shown us that once cracks form, it's hard to put everything back together. Angela Simmons, on her part, is not someone who thrives off negativity. She's built her reputation as a businesswoman, a reality star, and a mother. She's part of the Simmons legacy, which is respected in both entertainment and business. So the idea of her willingly diving into drama, especially drama that could land a young female rapper back in prison, seems out of character. However, when love and relationships are involved, people act in unpredictable ways. Some fans believe Angela is simply trying to protect her peace and her relationship with Yo Gotti. Others think she's being dragged into this by association and has no real involvement. But in the court of public opinion, even being rumored to be involved makes her look like a key player in GloRilla's story. And here's the thing, at this point, it's all speculation. No court filings have been made public, no official records show Angela Simmons is actively trying to submit evidence, and neither Angela nor GloRilla have spoken publicly about it. This is why it's important to take it with a grain of salt. But the fact that it's become such a big conversation shows how deeply invested fans are in the dynamics between GloRilla, Yo Gotti, and Angela Simmons. In hip-hop, perception is often more powerful than reality. Even if Angela never lifts a finger, the rumor alone creates drama, tension, and mistrust. And in an industry where image is everything, that can have lasting consequences. So where does this leave us? Well, GloRilla is at a crossroads. She's fresh out of prison, which should mean a clean slate and a chance to rebuild her career. She's got fans waiting for her next project, and she has the talent to pick up right where she left off. But if she gets caught up in beef with Angela Simmons and finds herself dealing with more legal issues, her momentum could be derailed once again. For Angela, this is about protecting her image. If she really is involved, she risks looking like someone who uses her influence to knock another woman down. If she's not involved, she needs to find a way to distance herself from the rumor so her reputation doesn't take unnecessary damage. And for Yo Gotti, this might be the toughest situation of all. He's the glue that holds CMG together, and he's also the man in the middle between his artist and his partner. If he doesn't navigate this carefully, he risks damaging both his business and his personal life. It's a tightrope act, and one wrong move could send everything spiraling. So that's where we stand. Rumors are flying that Angela Simmons might be preparing to bring forward more evidence against GloRilla, which could lead to her being arrested again. Nothing's been confirmed, but the internet is already picking sides, speculating about motives, and debating what it means for CMG as a whole. Now I want to hear from y'all. Do you believe there's any truth to this rumor? Do you think Angela Simmons would actually step into GloRilla's legal business? Or is this just another case of gossip blogs stirring the pot? And most importantly, how should Yo Gotti handle being caught in the middle? Drop your thoughts in the comments.